All right, so let's get into this. This is the GosuCup Americas round four. This is my first cast, but Shred's been here for a while, as you guys know. A round four game between HTID, as mentioned, and MindMix. Looking forward to this, actually. Oh, it's Tachi Alone Time. TAT. HTID's new name.
Tachi Alone Time.
Mm-hmm.
If only I knew what Tachi meant.
Well, it's the guy that's pink.
Oh, it is. Oh, wow. Uh-oh.
But that's a really interesting first ban. And you know what? It's kind of surprising me less now to see Lone Druid being banned in the first stage, especially if you're first pick and you can afford to kind of start banning situationally rather than ban the OP, which is generally what you'll see on the second pick, which, of course, in this case has banned Batrider.
Yeah, and there's
but,
no shocker right there.
Yeah, like, if you don't see him banned, he's picked. That's the thing about Lone Druid. So, like, in terms of his availability in the competitive scene, he's almost, like, always just banned or picked, as mentioned.
Yeah, he's just so versatile. Like, he goes into any lane pretty much. And he's kind of hard to shut down. And he scales so well into the late game, and he has good mid game. I mean, even his early game isn't terrible. He's just a really solid hero all around.
Yeah, for sure. Magnus being another ban that we see pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
As well as the Batrider, the previous ban there. I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see a Nyx. There it is. And really what's left up right now is, in terms of just the higher end heroes, would be the Undying as well as the Darkseer.
And I kind of want to give a special shout out to Keeper of the Light right there. We see him picked up very early on in pretty much every game. But he's often the unsung hero of his team. He doesn't really do those spectacular plays. But
10 seconds
he
remaining.
offers so much when it comes to slowing down a game and setting the pace.
5 seconds
Because if the
remaining.
enemy team wants to push, he's gonna say, no,
Of the light.
and there we go.
Yeah, exactly. The amount of counter push that Keeper of the Light really offers is just insane in the early game. And not only that, but he's one of those heroes that, like, you could have nothing for the first 10 minutes, and then in 5 minutes just farm up a mech with jungle, stacking, illuminate. Think of it this way, really. Like, if he gets Tranquil Boots, there's no reason for him to go back to base.
Yeah.
He'll have everything.
Also, another thing that really, really goes for him in this meta is that currently, or at least in Asia,
10 seconds remaining.
we don't see that as much in the Western scene, but the current meta
5
game is to
seconds
split push a lot
remaining.
with the carry. And Keeper of the Light is amazing for that. Being able to bring people into team fights from split pushing with that ulti it's what more could you ask for, really?
Yeah. Darkseer being the next pickup. Just another hero that's pretty good at kind of disrupting some pushes in some senses. And Wisp is actually picked up relatively early. We've seen some teams, quite a few teams, actually have success with this Wisp. It's more in the Western scene than in the Eastern scene, though. Really, it's just such a great hero to catch people out of position, and being paired up with just a really good early mid game hero as well, with farm, of course. For example, a CK. It'd be pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of one of those hero combos that do really well against Keeper of the Light. We talked about how good Keeper of the Light is to have on your team.
5
Wisp
seconds
actually kind of
remaining.
counters him, because one thing Keeper of the Light doesn't deal with well is ganks. That is his weakness. He doesn't stop ganks very well.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. It'll really let them be aggressive really early. I mean, they already have two heroes that just move speed buff heroes, right, to get in and out, with Darkseer's Surge as well as the tether from Wisp. And even just the ulti from Wisp for positioning.
Yeah.
Undying, this is a really scary pick now. I didn't think that Tachi was going to pick it, but now that Dilated Mind has picked it up for his team, Keeper of the Light and Undying is just one of those dual lanes you never really want to have to fight against. It's a dual lane that can actually win against most tri-lanes, and that alone is a bit of a scary thought. So you have to be really careful in terms of how you play the lane against a Keeper and Undying if they lane in the same area.
Important to point out is that this Undying pick with the Keeper of the Light pick doesn't really give away their lanes. That's something that's extremely important when you're drafting a team, right? Because you don't want the enemy team going, oh, wait, they're gonna put these heroes in this lane. I mean, I could just pick these heroes to counter their lane. Like, you want to be as versatile as possible to be able to switch around. To best be able to adapt to your enemy's lineup.
The only thing right now, though, is the fact that there isn't really a stun yet on the Radiant team. A reliable stun, I should say. Sorry, on the Dire team. Dilated Mind and his team, MindMix, are going to be on the Dire. as well as
10
TAT being on the
seconds
Radiant.
remaining.
So I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw some sort of kind of
5 seconds
a little bit more
remaining.
stun-oriented mid-hero.
Queen
Oh.
Maybe
of
not.
Oh, this just tells me Enigma. Oh, Tiny picked up. Oh, that's to go with the Wisp then.
Dire team
Uh,
ban.
Yeah,
They
for
don't want to
sure.
risk that getting banned out, but I feel as if they could have probably picked up an Enigma right there, if they wanted to. Enigma is not only good with Darkseer, but without stuns on the enemy team for the first 3 picks, that's huge!
Yeah, I totally agree, but I do also agree with their pick here in the sense that they needed to pick up the Tiny because it would most likely have been banned in the second stage. And now I kind of see Tachi TAT kind of banning more carry-oriented heroes. For example, the Phantom Lancer if they don't want it to tie in with the Keeper of the Light,
Yeah.
which is a combo that we see relatively often.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really
Radiant
important
team
ban
ban.
here, actually, because if you give away the Keeper of the Light, I think you're really going to struggle to bring it into the late game. As much AoE as Tiny has, I don't think he can actually stand up to...
Dire
That's a
team ban.
super interesting ban. I don't think I've seen Naga banned or picked in quite a while, actually. So for them to ban it, they must think there's some sort of strategy plan with that hero. And it's true. I mean, just with the Undying, the zombies will spawn if Naga Siren uses her ultimate. So it would have been a really nice combo with the Tombstone spawning zombies as well as the Queen of Pain with heavy AoE burst as soon as the sleep wears off. So it's an interesting and well thought out ban, actually.
But even so, how does it really fit into the enemy team? I mean, you bring up the Undying combo right there, but is it really worth to pick the
10
Naga Siren
seconds
just for that
remaining.
combo? I feel as if having 2 zombies,
5
or
seconds remaining.
possibly 3 more zombies per fight, isn't really that much, is it?
It could be, depends,
Radiant
because the
team
movement speed,
banned.
like debuff, I guess, does stack with each zombie.
Mm.
So it depends on how many hit as soon as it dispels, I guess. But I mean, that's what they're worried about right now, I guess. It is a carry that could potentially do well with that lineup. So,
Yeah.
so I do agree with that ban in that sense. But
Shadow
I
Demon
think they need
banned
to ban the
out here.
PL,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too. But
especially with that SD ban.
yeah, exactly. I was kind of gonna talk about that. Shadow Demon is a really, really good pick against against
Yeah.
Phantom Lancer. And there we go, yeah.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, there's not too much to talk about. Shadow Demon, he just counters Phantom Lancer because he can make a Phantom Lancer army of his own. He kind of scales exactly as much as Phantom Lancer himself does.
Yep, really one of those heroes. As you had mentioned previously in your cast, it's a hero that scales with the enemy carry as well. So it's really strong top tier support at the moment, and but it kind of gave away the Phantom Lancer that they wanted it at least.
10 seconds remaining.
So we'll see what TAT decide to do. The lanes right now, in terms of mind mix, are
Radiant
kind
team
of
ban.
starting to see some sort of appearance. I mean, we should expect that tri lane, as well as the Queen of Pain being in the mid lane. Whether the tri lane's aggressive or defensive, not too sure. But because there's a Wisp on the field, more likely going to be an aggressive tri lane against a defensive tri laning Tiny Wisp, as well as one other hero.
Yeah, Wisp
team
really doesn't do that well in the laning phase. That's one of her massive drawbacks. While she has a really strong early and mid, kind of early mid game type of thing, she doesn't really do much before that. Before she hits level 6, she doesn't offer that much to the
Radiant
team.
team pick.
I love
Yep.
this pick, by the way.
It's interesting to say the least. And then, you know what? I really love that
Dire
pick.
team pick.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of like, I don't know, the tri lane being Wisp, Bane, Tiny there in the safe lane most likely. It's a little bit iffy. I mean, now that Bane is picked, it's a little bit harder to run an aggressive tri lane against it. Bane just can do so much against those types of lanes.
Radiant
Puck
team
being the last pick, so we are starting to see a cemented
Templar
pick,
Assassin.
as well as a TA. I'm actually surprised TA made it this far, in the sense that it wasn't banned at all. So we'll see if they have a way to deal with TA as Queen of Pain there in that mid lane.
Yeah, kind of going back to this Bane pick though, I'm not so sure about that. I feel as if Bane isn't actually the strongest laner, even though he's a strong laner. I feel you probably would have had more of an AoE stun rather than a Bane. Because I feel as if Bane doesn't shut down engagements as hard as someone like a Lina maybe, or a Leshrac, or a Rubik, or, you know, other
That's
heroes
true.
like that.
I'm just thinking about the nightmare as well as the move speed that you'll get from the wisp to kind of just disengage. But then once the mid game hits, just like even a couple of levels in his enfeeble, if he hits 2 levels, it's minus 60 damage, which will also help deal with Sven if he
10
ults, right? That's
seconds
minus 60
remaining.
damage as well as the extra bonus damage that would have resulted from that damage being
5
applied.
seconds remaining.
And also, of course, the ulti going through BKB. Incredibly good against Sven. Sven is one of those BKB-centric heroes.
Looks like we're getting underway. This is, of course, the round 4 game of the GosuCup Americas.
Prepare for
And
battle.
looking at TAT now, they're going to have 5 people go on the bottom. We have, oh man, Takionsa, I guess, playing the Wisp. Chonsa playing the Tiny. Your boy JC playing the TA. The People's Champ. Is that the People's Champ? Yes, it is,
Yeah,
playing the
looks like
Darkseer.
it, yeah.
And finally, we have T on the Bane.
And for the Dire side, we have Dilated Mind hitting up this safe lane Puck solo. I love this pick, by the way. I love Puck. I can't imagine why we don't see it more often. Such a good hero. We have Zeb playing this Keeper of the Light in the aggressive tri lane, together with his support partner, Knives Chow. That's a funny movie reference. On the Undying. And the carry in the aggressive tri lane is going to be Hasu, playing this Sven.
30
I
seconds
really
to
like
battle.
this pick, even though it's probably going to be shut down pretty hard by this Bane in the mid game, and quite possibly in the early game. Finally, we have Quicks playing this Queen of Pain in the mid lane, up against the Templar Assassin.
Man, I saw TAT run 5 bot and like really tightly together as
Yeah.
well to put down that ward. And I was just thinking, man, they're up to some shenanigans here. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. They're actually rotating their lanes to go maybe a dual lane top.
The battle begins.
Kind of expecting the aggressive tri lane, which is very interesting because they are correct in this sense. So maybe Tiny's going to get a little bit more farm than really the Dire would like him to have. They do get the Invisor in top lane as well.
Also, Tiny is a very good hero against Puck, because you can't phase shift to dodge that avalanche. That avalanche hits in waves, and it will stun you eventually. Until you have, I think it's max level phase shift that you need to actually dodge it.
Really? That's actually quite good then.
Yeah, I
You'll
think
at
so.
least dodge parts of it though. So
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
stun duration 1 second. No. Wisp immediately goes off his invis there just to get like 3 pot shots on that Puck. Puck still hasn't skilled yet either, so he's looking to decide what he needs to do here against this dual lane.
Denied.
Yeah. It's almost a choice you have to make, really. Do I go phase shift first? Do I go Illusionary Orb first? I mean, Illusionary Orb isn't really going to help him if he's going to be stun locked, but I don't think they can actually stun lock him to death. I think they don't have the duration to do it.
Yeah, most likely not.
Interesting rotation from the Dire support here.
Yep. Yeah, really interesting. And TA's kind of playing a little bit scared. The wave is kind of at her tower right now, so it's okay. But Undying just kind of shows himself with a decay there on the mid lane. And then the rotation, I guess, going into top. Nope, they know he's still there, though. That range creep, as well as the tower, is giving some vision. He's just going to run right into this.
Oh my god.
In the mid lane, he's just taking.
Oh, wow!
And then the meld is forced, of course. But, I mean...
They do have a Sentry Ward. They could place it if they really, really wanted to dive her.
Yeah. But I mean, that does still help Queen of Pain a little bit. She's sitting at 5-1 up against a 2-0. An attempt to get some pulling going off kind of thwarted a little bit, and Sven using his Stormbolt there to get the last hits on those jungle creeps. Undying finally making his rotation up to the top lane though. So this is kind of a good response coming out of the Dire at least.
There's really not that much to talk about this early on in the game. There's not really any action happening, from what I
I
can
really
see.
like I like the level 2 meld that was forced though out of the Undying coming mid. It was pretty interesting. I mean, she doesn't have side blades for a while, as well as them having the sentry wards up. So a dodge there isn't gonna help. Like trying to meld dodge Queen of Pain's Shadow Strike isn't gonna help her just because of that sentry placement. And a kind of unfortunate pause as they do look like they're about
Yeah.
to start going on this Undying in the bot lane. Well, who's going on who? That really is the better question there, huh?
Important to point out is that Tiny does not have mana to combo. He doesn't have the levels yet to be able to do his big damage combo, so to speak. But he'll still be able to get both spells off in a fight that lasts longer than 6 seconds, and it probably will. This Undying has a lot of decay stacks, right, though? right now though, so I don't think they're gonna be able to bring him down.
He's not gonna go down, I don't think. Look how much damage this Wisp is taking.
God.
Oh my god.
Oh,
that was really close. Forced to avalanche there. Oh wow, Puck taking a couple of hits from the tower as well. That's pretty surprising. Both teams playing really aggressive in this dual lane. This is pretty high action. They are gonna get the toss off though on that Puck. Is he gonna get killed? He's gonna get killed by the Wisp, getting the last hit with the right click. He's gonna try to have to manipulate his orbs right now just so that he can get some extra shots on that Undying. Unfortunately, taking 2 tower hits. Look how much damage he took.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that comes down to having 0 armor.
Yeah, that's true.
Funny thing to point out actually is that they have 0 armor total in their lane.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Lane of 0 armor. It's pretty funny. You gotta be really careful with that.
Look at how aggressive this Darkseer is in the bottom lane. Oh, he's actually gonna be punished for it.
Just a little bit of harassment coming out. But, I mean, he's gonna do really well in that safe lane, I believe. Just as a result of, even if he can't do well, like if they start putting a lot of pressure on him, he is of course a Darkseer, and Ion Shell is gonna get him some last hits.
Denied.
Nice pull there from the Undying on the top lane, just to kind of slow down the creep wave a little bit. There are 3 ranged creeps pushing into the tier 1 tower, sorry, of the Radiant.
Yeah, but it's not gonna do any damage. I mean, they're just focusing Tiny, and because he has 0 armor, he's gonna take a truckload of damage from it, but he doesn't seem to mind that much. Better than letting the tower take damage, I suppose.
Yep, nice control from the mid lane as a result of just, I guess, the gank from the Undying as well as the sentry ward place. They're putting a lot of pressure on this TA. And she's gonna get the rune as well. Just good control so far.
Something I would like to point out earlier is that when they placed this aggressive sentry ward in the mid lane to deal with the Templar Assassin, Bane was sitting next to the mid lane with his own sentry wards, but did not decide to counter it. I think that was a very controversial play. I would have countered it if I was that Bane.
I actually agree with you.
Yeah.
It might have been the case that they didn't know about the sentry ward yet. I'm not sure though. I mean,
well, I mean,
if I was the Bane in that
Denied.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if I was Bane in that case, yeah, I probably would have done it.
Yeah, he had one left over for a long time as well. I'm just not sure why he didn't place it in mid. He didn't use the second one for a really long time.
Yeah. Of course it was used in the end, which is fine.
Yeah.
So that's always okay. A little bit of a passive start to this game. I mean, the real action's coming out of this unlikely dual lane Puck Undying top against a tiny Wisp aggressive dual lane. Like, you don't really see that too often, but I mean, it's working well for exactly what they needed to do, which is really kind of give Tiny some more protected farm. If he was in that bottom lane, it would have been a much harder lane to deal with.
Oh yeah,
and he's already sitting at 20 pretty much CS, now 19 right now, but he's doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much going on right now. We can't really talk about nothing.
Well, we can talk a little bit about how each lane is going. Queen of Pain's really showing a dominant performance so far over the Templar Assassin. She's doing really well. And, you know, with the control that she has over this lane, we're probably going to see a couple of ganks come out. The only thing is, if ganks are going to come out, it's going to be definitely on that top lane. It's really hard to deal with both a Bane as well as a Darkseer on bottom lane. And she does get the rune. Unfortunately, it's an illusion, though, so there isn't really much ganking potential coming out with that rune. But here we go. Oh, ooh, Bane, actually. Almost. Interesting choice there by Bane.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had seen that or not. The Shadow Strike's just off cooldown now, and he's going to use it on the Bane. Templar Assassin tries to use a trap, though, just to kind of slow down the entire engagement. Is she going to get the deny off?
Oh,
she does get nice play. And on the other hand, Puck actually getting a kill on the Wisp, so that's another important kill. That's 2 kills actually coming out. Well, 1 kill just because of the deny from the Templar Assassin.
And I believe Queen of Pain actually cancelled her last auto attack. I don't know if she was fog blocked or maybe because of this tree right here, but she cancelled that auto attack. I'm positive.
Yeah, interesting actually.
Yeah.
Maybe she would have thought that if she had used it there, it wouldn't have killed, and then TA would have gotten the deny. But TA got the deny anyways, so.
Yeah. Oh, look at the bottom lane.
Yep, looks like they are going to engage right now. Darkseer surges himself up. He has 3 points in the Ion Shot. Look how much damage that Coddle's taking. Nice vacuum as well, securing the kill onto the Keeper of the Light.
For a pointless
Uh-oh.
Oh, look
Looks
at the
like
top lane.
Tiny's in trouble on the top lane. He's gonna get ulted by the Wisp. Nice Dream Coil as well as the Illusory Orb. But unfortunately, Undying goes down first. Tiny running for his life right now. Nice combo there, just to realize, you know what, we can actually take Undying in this current situation. And gets a nice kill there.
Very
Good
interesting
counter.
choice to go for these power treads. Typically we see phase boots or arcane boots on Tiny and never really anything else. Treads don't really offer him that much. I mean, tread switching is still really strong, and he does use the attack speed. But
yeah. But they already have the Wisp there with the attack speed, with
Yeah.
overcharge. So it's pretty interesting. I was actually expecting the phase boots.
yeah, exactly, so was I.
It might just be a little bit more survivability for them.
Top lane, top lane, top lane!
Yeah, looks like they are going on top actually. Queen of Pain had gone in and used her
Radiant's
ultimate,
top
but
Yeah.
tower is under
both
attack.
live barely. Nice call there. Oh, DD Rune actually gonna go to the Templar Assassin. Is he gonna be able to get this Queen? Most likely not. He misses his meld
Yeah.
actually, so that's definitely not gonna be a kill. Queen of Pain can just blink out. Nice blink. Ooh, man, I thought she was
Yeah.
gonna chase for a second there.
She saw where the auto attack was heading.
Dilated Mind doesn't have his ultimate up, so he's not gonna try to engage there. Templar Assassin alone, kind of fending off 3 heroes from the Dire there.
Looking at some item pickups. I mean, we just see the boot upgrades really at this point.
Man,
Nobody's
TAT
really
is,
sticking out.
Like, they're the team of Treads apparently. Treads picked up on the Templar Assassin as well. It was another
Really?
relatively uncommon pickup that you wouldn't really see
Top
too
lane,
often.
we see Undying actually going down to this combo
Yeah.
once again, and this combo is just proving to be so potent. And we see Wisp actually hitting level 6 from that kill. That is going to be very important. We're going to have to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely keep my eye on the top lane. Looks like Keeper of the Light, of course, just spamming Illuminate here now. Gets a hit off onto the Tiny, but at the same time, it's kind of pushing the lane. So Tiny's gonna get a little bit more farm now because of that Illuminate.
Oh, point booster. This is a very early Aghanims rush.
Yep. I totally agree with this as well. As mentioned before, I mean, he has all the attack speed he can want, really, with that Wisp, so long as Wisp doesn't die. So really, the Wisp is going to be a main focus of the Dire team. They want to try to shut him down, just so Tiny does a little bit less overall DPS. Speaking of Wisp, actually, he is level 6. So, just making sure before they do anything too stupid, right?
Yeah.
So Wisp does have his ultimate, actually, and they're searching the map right now. Pings are actually coming out onto the Undying in the mid lane. He's only sitting at level 4 in 9 minutes 50 seconds. This is a pretty gimped Undying. 0 and 3. Quite surprising.
And they want to make sure that he stays down. They don't want to let him get back into the game, and I agree with that. Undying is a very devastating team fighting support.
Really interesting aggressiveness coming out of the Tiny. He's going to use his combo on the Queen of Pain. She barely gets out, but unfortunately the orbs from the Wisp. Great spirit play there, getting the kill. And they're actually going to go... They actually go to base to heal up. I was expecting something else there, because now that the Dire knows they're going to be there, there's actually 4 heroes sitting in wait for them. Are they going to suicide the Wisp in this situation? We'll see when the Wisp timer runs out. Yep, it looks like it, and he's going to go down pretty much instantly. Good play to notice that they were really in danger from a little bit of overextension from killing that Wisp, and then they get the Tiny out safely. So good play there from the Wisp.
Dire's bottom tower is
Weird
under
TP
attack.
coming out of the puck. Uses phase shift, and then a great Dream Coil as well. The TP support's coming in the way of this Queen of Pain. Great play coming out. The Queen of Pain combo melts 2 pretty much instantly.
Death travels faster than sound.
Huge plays right there.
Yeah, really nice. Man, great TP support, great communication coming out of Dilated Mind, as well as quick stare on the Queen of Pain.
Something to point out is that the Darkseer did get the tower last hit, so it wasn't denied. It's very, very...
Oh, looks like on the top lane they actually get a combo off on the Keeper of the Light. She's gonna go down.
Sorry for missing that.
No worries.
There's just too much action on this map.
Yeah, I'm just like permanently on the top lane right now. Templar Assassin looked to do a little bit of roaming up onto the top, but decides against it and instead comes back mid. Interesting choice to use Refraction there. She's pretty much used up all her charges now. A bait attempt at using Shadow Strike to see if he would meld dodge it, but not fooled at all is Templar Assassin.
Mind gaming the mind games.
Yeah.
Undying is kind of getting his levels up right now. Sitting at level 3 decay is going to be pretty important in team fights. If you can get a multi-person DK, you're gonna feel the difference. Like, you feel that pretty much straight away, and only being on such a low cooldown, I mean, 6 seconds,
Dire's bottom
you're gonna
tower
have a
is
few of
under
them in
attack.
every team fight.
Man, but currently, like the Undying just isn't working out that well for them.
Yeah.
He's getting caught quite a bit, and he's taking a lot of like the brunt of the damage that the that TAT are offering.
He's just trying to get farm wherever he can right now.
Yep, nice ward coming out of the Radiant here. They realize that the Queen of Pain is in this lane, so Tiny's going to be a little bit scared now. Surprising though that he's still here.
Do you want to bait a fight?
I mean, I'm kind of more surprised that Queen of Pain hasn't actually gone on that right
Yeah.
now. But you know, all for naught. In the meantime, Templar Assassin pushing out the mid lane, knowing that Queen of Pain is top, just trying to get as much damage to the tower as possible. However, the Templar Assassin...
Bottom lane.
Oh, yeah, bottom lane. We are going on the Undying. Nice combo, though, coming out. Nice Dream Coil as well. Are they actually going to get the kill on the Undying? It doesn't look like it in time, and actually, Wisp going down. Tiny stuck here, forced to TP out. Is he going to get out? Yep, looks like it. Nice play. Every stun was on cooldown there.
Yeah. That was just amazing TP support right there. Reacting so fast.
Yeah, every stun, by that I really mean all 2 stuns that the Dire do have.
Yep.
One being an ultimate, of course.
Yeah.
Man, that combo is really doing work, but, I mean, Tiny barely escapes, like, the skin of his teeth, really. He's sitting at 3-0-3, though, so, I mean, he's doing a lot right in this game to have not died at all, considering how aggressive these lanes are being, and the fact that he started in the top lane.
Something I want to point out with this fast Aghanims rush, while I agree with it and think that it's a good item pickup, I think he could have probably used a drum first. Not having the movement speed kind of punishes Tiny. If he can't stay on the target, the Aghanims isn't going to be that useful. Although it does increase his attack range, obviously, so...
I mean, at the same time, you do have Tether. The Wisp really just has to stay alive. That's the top priority for this Radiant team right now.
Yeah.
It seems like the Tiny's doing a really good job in terms of survivability, but they really need to make sure that Wisp stays. He's looking to get his urn relatively soon as well, so that'll be a good pickup for him. TP actually coming down onto the bot lane. They do try to engage on the Starks here as well. Do they have the Dream Coil? Man, that was actually relatively close. It seemed like he wanted to do a little bit of blocking in the beginning, but it doesn't seem like it. Oh, Tiny and Wisp coming into the... Man, it was the Templar Assassin actually. Pretty much melts the Sven. Defensive Dream Coil being used as well as the Silence, and they just kind of back up. I thought it was the Tiny. It seems like TA wanted to turn in the action. And they both get out okay.
Oh, look at mid, look at mid! They're actually gonna go on mid.
Are they gonna be able to get this though?
No,
nope. A little bit of a lapse in communication there, unfortunately. But Queen of Pain with the haste rune is gonna go on this Wisp. We'll see if she decides to turn around. Nope, just decides to blink away to safety. That is the right play there. If she had gotten caught by the Tiny, she would have gone down. Tiny, of course, forced to TP there, so he really... This is time spent not farming right now.
Yeah.
Oh, as I say that, of course, he clears a dual stacked jungle spawn, so that's okay.
That's A-okay. Oops. Camera bug once again.
What's up with that?
I have no idea. I've tried restarting Dota and everything, but it just doesn't...
Oh.
It just doesn't go away.
Damn. Beta.
Yeah. I haven't noticed it before, but it seems that it doesn't lock to my primary monitor anymore. The mouse, that is. Instead it goes over to the second one.
Darkseer sitting at about 170 away from his mech, so relatively close. Not as early as he would have liked it, of course, but he's doing pretty well for himself as well, so nothing to complain about. He actually did pick up Arcane Boots beforehand, so that could be a reason that it's a little bit later.
Oh, look at the top lane, actually.
Yep, they're gonna go on top as well. Tiny as well as Wisp this time. Excellent toss as well. Look at the amount of TPs though coming out of the Dire. Something has gone terribly wrong now for the Radiant. They're in full retreat. They do have 4 heroes top, however, but they are gonna bring Tiny out. And he goes right back to the mid lane to get some farm. That's the power of Wisp, really. Like, they're choosing their engagements, and it's really the Dire that's forced to respond to these engagements. Mindmix has, of course, been doing a really good job in responding, but at the same time, as soon as they want, they can just bring Tiny back and just keep up the farm.
Yeah, I kind of feel as if the engagement is kind of neutraling out, right? I mean, TAT aren't actually getting anything with these ganks, but they're not really losing anything either, right?
Yep. Not only that, but with the amount of TPs being forced from the
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Sorry, from the Dire. It's really just kind of wasted 135 gold for 3 or 4 heroes if they don't get that kill. So they really need to kind of counter gank properly.
It is so tough though. I mean, it's just
it's really tough.
with the amount of stuns and I mean, Wisp even gives vision to be able to juke correctly.
Yep.
It's tough to take down this combo.
They did a really good job of it on the bot lane, near the secret shop there.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep it up. I mean, every TP wasted, I mean, it means that Undying's going to have less and less, really, as well.
Yeah.
And just, like, general support heroes. You don't really see... I mean, Coddle can always bounce back with the Illuminate, as well as just farming jungle in them. Or just counter-pushing, but it will take its toll eventually.
Yeah. And, I mean, Undying doesn't really have that ability to kind of bounce back into a game.
Here comes the Ags, actually. Tiny's just finished his Ag, so he's going to be doing 162 base damage. It's quite a bit.
Only level 1 ulti though. This looks pretty funny, don't you think?
Yeah. Just, you know, casual strutting around with a tree. That's like 3 times the size of you.
Yeah.
We'll see, Wisp Ultimate is up now. So we'll see if they do decide to relocate somewhere. Unfortunately, pretty much every lane is pushed quite a bit, so it's a little bit hard to engage right now. Templar Assassin picked up her Blink Dagger quite a bit ago, actually. So doing a good job there. They do have a lot of mobility now with that.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi. I think you cut out for a bit.
Oh. Well... Yeah, there, as I said, like, there is going to be a little bit of mobility. Actually, they are going to go on the mid lane. Queen of Pain realizing, excellent awareness though, but the Blink Chase coming out of the Templar Assassin, as mentioned, with that Blink Dagger pickup. She's going to get a melt hit. Oh. Level 4 Blink, though, means that it's going to be on a 6-second cooldown. Gets away safely. So that's a failed gank there, and no TP support was necessary. Oh, that was stacked, though, and Tiny's going to get a free hard camp stack. Gets his level 2 ultimate as well, sitting at 215 damage now, so that's like a 40 to 50 increase in damage.
I wonder what Tiny's going to go for item-wise right now. I mean... Kind of going back to that drum, he could go that. He could also go for a Yasha, later going into a Manta. He could... What else could he go into? I feel that's about it,
actually. If you want to be gutsy, just go straight Daedalus. we'll see if that's the case, though.
That would be pretty funny.
Yep, we're pretty much just reaching 20 minutes right now, so taking a look at the graphs, sitting at a pretty healthy lead in terms of both gold and experience for TAT over Mind Mix now. It's about 5,000 for both. So
interesting to note that there's such an experience lead, considering that the kills are fairly even. You wouldn't really expect such a heavy experience lead when there's only 8 to 6 in kills.
Yeah, it's true. It could just be with the fact that a lot of them on the Radiant are a lot more even in terms of levels. Of course, not including the Bane. Undying as well as Keeper of the Light have really been taking a little bit of the shaft, I guess, level 6 and level 7 respectively. But it looks like a grouping now coming out from the from Team Mind Mix now. Having the Sven, of course, being split in a split push situation. He does have something coming to him. It looks like it's going to be the Ogre Axe. So working his way up to that BKB. I'm interested to see what Undying is going to go for, if he decides to go for that energy booster just to complete his arcane boots, or if he's just going to rely on the Keeper of the Light to grant him mana, and then just go for something maybe like a mech or a pipe or something. It doesn't seem like anyone's even close. Oh, Silence actually coming out. Nice Fiend's Grip on the Puck. Puck melts pretty much instantly. They're going to take out this Tombstone pretty much with ease. And now they're turning on this Undying. Undying's going to be slowed from a 1 Psionic Trap, make that 2 Psionic Traps, as well as a Nightmare. Nice Stormbolt coming out onto the Darkseer to try to alleviate some of the damage. But it looks like, whoa, nice Queen of Pain ultimate picking off the Wisp. But Undying's going to go down on the other hand. And then Templar Assassin. Oh, they're going to actually miss the Queen of Pain. And everyone's in full retreat right now. Oh man, one more attack, nice attack. The animation from the blink was there, but it didn't go off in time. And Templar Assassin with some nice prediction skills, getting a kill onto that Queen of Pain.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has been denied.
And with that team win, they are going to try to go onto this mid tower. Going to get a relatively easy tower as well.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
I think my microphone muted.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I'm having a bunch of issues today.
Oh, well. We'll fix them all for tomorrow for sure, right?
Yeah. I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Look at Tiny's item.
Yeah, what did he end up picking up? Oh my god,
Yep.
man. Call me
Called
a prophet. What?
You called it.
That's fun.
Oh, look at the bottom lane actually.
Yep, they're gonna actually get on this. Wow, the TP isn't really needed. I guess they expected a little bit more kind of counter gank or just a pressure there in the bot, but a little bit of a waste of Wisps to relocate. However, they do of course get the kill, so I mean, a kill's a kill. Opting not to bring back Tiny. Tiny's just gonna farm some of the Ancients here, and then make his way most likely into the jungle. But this game looks to be a pretty good advantage coming out for TAT. They're gonna go on the Undying. This Undying's really far away from his team.
Yeah.
Not even close to a counter gank either. He gets his tombstone down, but he's gonna go down at first. Puck actually gonna get chased by this Tiny. Tiny gets his combo off and gets pretty much one shot by the remaining right click. Excellent play there, predicting the fact that he would bounce into that orb. There was really nowhere else for the puck to go. So good play coming out of Chonsa here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
A really healthy lead now. It looks to be spiraling out of control a little bit more, sitting at 12,000 gold as well as 14,000 or so experience. Oh, ping's coming out for this Sven. Oh, but a Fiend's Grip actually is going to come out onto the Keeper of the Light. He gets one shot by that Blink Meld attack, and they turn on the Sven. Nice Avalanche as well as Toss combination. Sven melts pretty much instantly to that Bane's Brain Sap. Queen of Pain was also seen. Really, I gotta stress this. This Templar Assassin's trap placement has been perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really getting kills that they might not even get just because of the vision that they have in the jungle. As well as the wards. Look how aggressive these wards are being for the Radiant. Just really strong performance coming out of TAT. Man, if they caught this Queen of Pain here, I would have laughed. Like, imagine just like, you know, standard just random spirits being thrown out from the Wisp just randomly hits the Queen of Pain here. She's playing so scared just because she knows that the amount of traps that TA has been placing is just like, not only is it really nice positioning, but I mean, they're making it work with their team as well.
Something to point out is that this Queen of Pain is actually choosing to go for an Aghanim Scepter here. I do not like this at all, not one bit. Because usually when you go for an Aghanim Scepter, you want to get it as early as possible so you can use your ulti pretty much on every gank. But as the game progresses, it becomes less useful because the cooldown goes down anyway, right? No, it doesn't. Scratch that. But like, teamfights usually come further in between. Like, you don't have teamfights as often later on in the game as earlier in the game because there's more to lose. So both teams are pretty much just saying, "No, I don't want to fight right now."
Yeah, I was actually expecting her to just get the point booster and then realize that and then go for the BKB, but
yeah.
she does pick up her Staff of Wizardry as well, so it doesn't look like she wants to differ from her initial item decisions.
Yeah, and I just disagree with that. I don't think it's a correct call at all.
Yep. How close is this Sven? Sven's not even close to his BKB. He's sitting at 0 and 2 and only 82 CS in 25 minutes. That's not a place you want to be for your so-called 1 position. On the other hand, the Tiny's pretty much double that at 173 CS. And the top 3 like farmers in this game, of course, being on TAT, the Tiny, the Darkseer, as well as the Templar Assassin, really shows kind of the pace that this game has taken. That they're really the ones making the calls, just making their engagements happen on their terms rather than the terms of Team Mindmix here.
Looks like the Undying decided to go for a mechanism after all. We cannot talk about it, and I think he's doing the right thing here. Those arcane boots aren't really gonna change the situation at all, but a mech might.
I mean, it's a little bit interesting just because he's kind of banking on the Keeper of the Light. Yeah, and you see that Queen of Pain?
Yeah. Oh my god, she's playing so scared, even running from a Darkseer. Look at how big that Darkseer is actually. Mechanism and Pint, that's a team fight monster.
Yeah, exactly. It's just being chased constantly. Darkseer just wants some action, wants it now. Look at this.
Tiny's going for an Assault Curious at this point. He's just gonna be such a right-click monster.
Yeah, and he's gonna get so hard to kill like from this now. Not only that, but I mean, just one lucky crit as well is just gonna be massive. I mean, he has a really nice chase potential. The Psionic Traps as well as Wisp Tether as well as Surge. I mean, it's just if one person gets caught, a lot of people are going down. This is a really good play to make. They have Roshan sentryed as well, so they know that there's no vision. And look how scared Mind Mix are playing.
Yeah.
They don't know about the Roshan call. It's just a really smart play. They're playing this very safely, I would say. Tiny, of course, picking this up. Unlike in the second game, in the game that you casted previously where the TA was picking up all the Aegises, in this case, really, I mean, Templar's Assassin's gone a much safer build. Blink Dagger treads as well as the Black King bar.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't really need the safety of the Aegis that you would actually need if you went for that extremely heavy damage build that we saw last game.
Yeah. And the funny part is, like, she's not even the burst now. Tiny is the burst,
yeah.
in the sense that one right click is going to do more than Templar Assassin would.
Yep.
Oh, that was unfortunate. The tether
Dire's structures
Look at how much
cancelled.
damage
Tiny
this
ran a
tower is
little bit
taking.
too
I
far
mean,
away.
that just comes down to the siege damage from the Aghanim scepter, really. This tower is taking an insane amount of damage.
Look at that.
120 damage per hit, Jesus Christ.
Now with the overcharge, they have to go on this. That's the crazy
Yeah,
part.
like, they can't wait.
Yep, but he has an Aghanims as well. Looks like they're going to Fiend's Grip onto the Puck. Puck's going to get taken out. Nice play there by the Bane. Bane's been playing very safe and very smart as well. He's getting pretty much every ultimate he's using. Not only is it not being cancelled, but it's a kill. And that's going to be a free Rax pretty much. 35 seconds now. Puck, of course, does not have buyback, so they could just continue if they wanted to. Looks like they're going to. So this is, of course, once again, the right call to make. And we've really just been seeing a series of right calls coming out from TAT. Wow, great vacuum as well as wall.
Yeah.
They do get it onto the Sven. And Sven, of course, is also enfeebled. He's only doing about 60 damage per hit. Nice ultimate by the Queen of Pain, though, but, I mean, it's not going to do enough. Bane goes down, but, of course, at the expense of both the Sven as well as the Queen of Pain. And they're just going to continue on to the Raxes right now. That's 2 sets of Raxes pretty much instantly. Not only that, there's the GG. I mean, I was going to say there's no buyback on this Queen of Pain, so that's another 30 seconds of 4v4.
Also, something I would like to point out is that when you draft like this, if you're the Dire and you draft without stuns, how do you stop a Tiny from sieging your Rax? You need to make him stop attacking. How do you do that in this case when he's this farmed with an Aegis? You can't without stuns. Like, you need to physically stop him. And if you don't have stuns, you just can't do that because he won't care if you're attacking him.
Yeah. Well, that's it, guys. That's the round of 4, of course. TAT taking the win. Really solid performance coming out of them. They played it very well. Just taking a look at the score, really. They're 1 as well as they're 2. Just 9-0 and 3-0 respectively. So good play. And that's that.
And that's that.
That's that.